So Councillor Guildford is going to do the opening for us today. So thanks for that, Jackie.
Thank you for the opportunity. Tēnā koutou katoa, hello to you all. I would like to open our meeting with a whakatauki, which is a Māori proverb. Waiho I tui poto, kaua I tui roa. Let us keep close together, not far apart. This whakatauki encourages us to consider the diversity in voices, views and experiences across our community as we work through today's agenda. Whether it's our relationship with runanga, our seniors, ratepayer groups, businesses, farmers, those who are most vulnerable, everyone has a unique voice that contributes to our community. Our job is to ensure we don't just listen to the loudest voices. We must actively work to consider the range of diversity across our district, be it ethnic, gender, sexualities, abilities and disabilities or socioeconomic. All bring a unique view and experience to the table. And particularly, we need to ensure we find ways to hear the quieter voices as well, those who may not take part but are affected by and care deeply about the decisions we make around this table. We have a responsibility to our community to create the space, take the time, and not be afraid of embracing a unique approach or a different worldview in our conversation. We can achieve far more together than we ever can apart. Ngā tēnei whakaro, ka kōkiri, tātou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. With this thought, let us move forward. Greetings to you all, greetings to you all, greetings to us all.
Hey, Jackie. Actually, I'm always amazed when I go down to like the Navy school. It's like the United Nations down there.
Yeah.
There's kids from the Philippines, there's kids from Argentina. It's turned into a real multicultural school.
Yeah.
And it's not just there, even within the high school and
Yeah.
other schools around the place. You know, there's been such a demographic change in the district as a result of a lot of it through dairying and all that sort of stuff. And that, but I think it's neat. I think it's really cool. Right, thank you for that. Public forum, we don't have any that I am aware of. Apologies, I don't have any other that I'm aware of because I think we're all here. Visitors, there's none that I'm aware of. Conflicts of interest, members are reminded that if they have any pecuniary interest in the item on the agenda, they must declare this interest and refrain from discussing or voting on the item and are advised to withdraw from the meeting table. Does anybody have any conflicts in relation to today's agenda?
I'm not sure whether it's a conflict, but I declared I'm a member of the Blue Cliffs Hall Committee and there is an item on there. It might actually be on the workshop, but I'm not sure whether I declare it then or now. It's relating to MOUs but anyway.
I don't think it's anything on the agenda today.
If it's in the workshop, just declare it then, it's for noting, but that's about it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks for that. No others? That's great. Thank you for that. Moving on to identification of minor or major items not on the agenda. There's none that I am aware of. Moving on to page 6, which is the confirmation of the minutes of the council meeting held on the 24th of February 2026. I'll take them as read. Is there any alterations, corrections or discussion? If there's not, can I have somebody please move the minutes? Moved, Councillor Small, second to Councillor Patterson. Put the motion, all in favour say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Moving on to the minutes of the Waimate District Civic Awards Committee held on the 29th of January 2026. Again, I'll take them as read. Happy to answer any questions if there is any.
So basically we're moving later in the year, similar.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get a lot of applications, so yeah, we're pushing it out of it.
I think it will work better because it's really hard because the nominations kind of come in across that Christmas period. And
yeah, and I think that's what we realise is that
I think
getting people to nominate people over that Christmas break is a little bit difficult. So
yeah.
Hopefully this might be a model for the future.
Good choice.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I'm happy to move that report. Have a second. Councillor Guildford, put the motion, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Moving on to my report on page 19. Great day down at Bushtown at the opening of the miniature railway. It was outstanding. I think it's going to be a real asset to the community. It's already starting to get lots of people down there and groups wanting to go and use it, so that's good. Other than that, it's been pretty great to see the opening of Haywood's Engineering Retail Shop, another new business in town, which was really good. And really good citizenship ceremony down at the event centre last time too, talking about diversity within our community. I think we had quite a few nationalities down at that one as well, so it was really good. So happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Just a comment really that I was very impressed with the proposal, with the submissions from Canterbury Mayoral Forum. If anyone hasn't had a chance to have a read, well worth reading, really well explained, and some good points that I'd not considered. I thought they were excellent. So.
No, it was quite a few workshops went into those to get the back and forth.
Yeah, I just think
they get 10 councils all agreeing on one thing, so.
You did really well, but particularly looking at the cost, like I really like the way they address what it's actually going to cost our communities to implement all this legislation.
Yep.
So whilst they may have lofty goals, you know, I really love that they really address the real world cost to do the changes.
And as we all know, with all these reforms and new directions comes cost, and unfortunately we get to be the bad bearers as we pass it on to our ratepayers.
Yes, because there ain't no funding coming to help us do that.
Hello, I'm happy to move right a report. Have a seconder. Seconder, Councillor Baird. Put the motion on, favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Moving on to the councillor's report on page 23. There's an opportunity if you want to highlight anything that you've been to.
I just need to note, and it's my fault because I've missed it, that I also went to the Araki Fund launch, the new Waimate Fund launch, and I missed it off my report. Sorry, Alicia.
Just Sandy, the Hack of Wallaby Eradication Program meeting, what did you, is there anything much from that?
Yeah, Paul and I went up. So it's on, Paul might have to correct me here if I get this wrong, but it's on Dockland.
Oh, yeah.
And I've come up with this money and was just sort of talking to the neighbouring landowners, but there is a bit of friction because some of those guys feel that it's been spent on Dockland and they're not dealing with the surrounding areas. So there is another meeting one at Kuria and one in Timaru coming up, so I might go to the Kuria one and to see what comes about. So they've come up with this money out of the tourism fund, out of the
Tourism Infrastructure Fund.
Okay.
the levy, and but I also think too that until they treat the whole
Yeah,
problem
exactly.
rather than
Yeah.
one wee area, it's not going away.
You kind of think it would make sense to share that amongst the landholders up there, really, wouldn't it? Because it's all for the same thing.
Yeah, well, as a part of that too, I had a ring from Grant Patterson at Nimrod, and he had concerns around it, and I didn't go to the Albury meeting, but I hope he talked it through because there was also talk that they were going to, because the Dockland feeds into our water catchment for Cannington Motorkite, but I mean, I think Dan, did they talk to you at all about that? I think it will sort
Oh,
itself.
so they're poisoning as opposed to shooting?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that might be different.
Yeah, this is 10A,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
which, you know,
But yes.
there's a bit of controversy, but anyway.
Just to add to that, Craig, Sandy's got it bang on. The friction comes from the fact that if you find a wallaby on your place over in Waimate, you're probably going to get a 90% subsidy for doing something.
Yeah.
If you're up against a boundary like Nimrod where the place is all housey with them,
Yep.
you don't get anything.
Anything. Oh, exactly. That's what was I
And that's what's annoying there.
And we've been raising this issue with Environment Canterbury for a number of years where, I firmly believe they need to tackle the resident population rather than the containment strategy. Is not going to eradicate the problem. It's just containing the problem. And unfortunately we know that within the containment area there's hotspots and they should be targeting those areas. So I find it interesting that they can justify using the Tourism Infrastructure Fund as a funder for pest eradication and that. I wouldn't have thought that was what that money was intended for, but beyond my pay level obviously.
So,
I suppose it's arguable because it's on Dockland and, people come I don't know.
I think there would be very, very few tourists wandering around the top of the Cattle Creek and the Hacker.
Yeah.
I know where that dockland is, and it's very difficult to access other than like a 3-hour trap by foot across private property. So yeah, it's got me a little bit suspicious.
Sounds dodgy to me.
And there's another aside too. The farmers were lured there by text message on the promise of lunch.
Yes.
And he turned up with a bag of biscuits.
Austerity ball.
And they'd worked that out halfway through the meeting, so they were gone by 10 o'clock, weren't they? Anyway, sorry.
The rest of that with few wallabies. Right, anybody else wants to highlight? If there's not, can have somebody move the report.
Yep, I know.
Move Councillor Begg, second to Councillor Stevens, put the motion, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Moving on to the Chief Executive Report on page 26. Stuart?
I'll take it as read. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions?
Just around how you got on with Nick Ward, not seen him down this way much, so.
Nick was passing through, and as he always promises, he popped in, and Craig, you were there.
Yeah.
We sat down with him for an hour, and we were talking through primarily the reorganisation of local government, which is going to have a main impact upon ECAN, the way they see it. He raised, he discloses what's going on in ECAN at the moment with the number of consents and the work that they're doing. But yeah, they are, I guess, a bit like most people, they don't fully understand what it all means and what the future holds, and I think they're of the view that they would like the current councillors to see out their full term. I think, like us, the issue, correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, but the issue is that central government is yet to disclose what functions they're going to pull out of the RMA. And so we think that potentially movement to establish anything moving forward for the reorganisation of local government is a bit premature at this point. But no, it's always good to catch up with Nick.
Yeah, good catch up. Nice to see one of our councillors in the district, the liaison with us, which is always good.
It's been a while, yeah, that's good.
While they're still there,
Yeah.
and that, if the government has its way and removes them, we won't have any of that representation of 2 councillors down here, so.
It's very good, Nick.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It was very good. Righto, I'm happy to move to Stuart's report. Have a seconder. Second, Councillor Stevens, put the motion, all in favour say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Moving on to agenda item 13 on page 27, which is the outstanding council actions report. Just that 3 outstanding items. We're all fully aware about the fire and emergency, still waiting for a decision on paying us back for that. And the other 2 are fairly straightforward.
There's still nothing, Stuart, because it seems.
No, Michelle followed up last time. Michelle met with me this morning and said there'd been any response. There's still been no response from them. We're going to chase up again hopefully tomorrow with another email. But at some point we may have to just come to a decision at this table and furnish them with an invoice and so please pay. Just we want this matter closed.
They've had every opportunity to engage.
And we gave them a range of
More than
opportunities
tolerant.
as to the amount and how they repay
Yeah,
that reserve to prevent our ratepayers from paying twice, which is what they're doing at the moment. They're paying through their insurance
yeah,
for FENS, and they're also paying through
rates.
the rate.
And I was part of the decision that bought that engine, and I see in Oamaru,
Yes, I
they've
still.
just taken a tanker out
Yeah.
and taken it to a completely different district.
Yes, I saw that, and I still stand by the decision that it was exactly the right decision to be made at the
We
time.
did it for our community.
And I see that the local community, was I think Waimate Road, went down that way somewhere,
Yeah,
was jumping up and down because they're losing their tanker.
Yeah.
And that, well, I guess, that's the least of the problem when you've got trucks breaking down in the middle of major cities and.
true.
I do note that I think there's some strike action coming through for
Yes, there is.
firefighters, so maybe they're a bit distracted at the moment.
Yeah, an hour this week sometime, I think it is. Yeah, I think I did see something on the media about they're striking for an hour sometime. I'm pretty sure it's this week. And that so just something to be aware of. Okay, so can I have somebody move the council action report? Move Councillor Small, seconded Councillor Guildford. Put the motion on in favour, say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Thank you for that. Moving on to agenda item 14.1 on page 29, which is the Human Resources Report. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, all. I get that you all read my report. Any questions?
Any questions or queries for Grace at all?
Been busy.
She has been busy.
It sounds like there's some good movement happening now. Yeah, so you said in here that you thought you were close with a couple of roles. Have you been able to close them out?
So the graduate planner, we've done a verbal offer and that's been accepted, so it's going to get paperwork to them.
Awesome.
And then the governance support one is in the same sort of boat, we're just about to go through the next stage of reference checking. And then, finance manager, we've had a few applicants, but I'm just waiting to meet with the recruitment agency on that one. And then the senior writing officers a bit, I've just got to sit down with Dan and go through that as well.
No, I like it's pleasing.
Sorry, John, would you mind just, thanks Lisa. It's just that we don't want feedback on the microphones when people are trying to listen to us.
Just good job. Awesome to see.
Yeah, it's great to see that we're starting to fill some of these positions, which is outstanding.
Yeah,
It's a difficult industry to be in now, and it's great to see we're still getting really good candidates and still managing to fill positions. So outstanding.
I must say I love getting the emails introducing the new team.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
It's awesome for us as councillors because we may not get to see them or meet them straight away. It's really nice to be able to put faces to the roles and so thank you. That's really cool.
Excellent. Righto, no other questions for Grace? If there's not, have somebody move the HR report. Move Councillor Begg, seconded Councillor Patterson. Put the motion. All in favour say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Moving on to 15.1, the Audit and Risk Committee Chair's report. We'll take it as read. I think everybody was just about there. Happy to answer any questions if anybody has any questions in relation to the Audit and Risk Committee's Chair's report. Unless there's anything you want to outline, Alicia?
No.
No? Abby?
I'll just make the comment, I thought David did a really good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that, I know Paul said to me, I think it was one of the most valuable meetings you've been at so far. And that, so yeah, no, it's good to see that we're getting value for money. And that, asking the hard questions and getting value for money out of that. Yeah, it's good. So if there's no questions, have somebody move Councillor Harrison, seconded Councillor McAwee. All in favour say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Moving on to 16.1, which is the delegations policy review. Good morning, Shay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This looks like a big piece of work.
It is a culmination of quite a few changes, but the majority of it has to do basically with the establishment of the water internal business unit. There have been a number of title changes to reflect that. At the same time, we've just had minor changes throughout council happening with new positions, people coming in and out. So we thought we'd just roll it all into one big change instead of bringing it to you every month for 4 months in a row.
Yep.
So there are a few other changes in there as well. Tina is not here to speak to them, but I'm happy to relay any information that she shared with me in instituting those changes. Other than that, I'll take the report as read. If you have any questions.
Any questions for Shay at all?
Probably just as much as Shay and Stuart, just the increase in expenditure authorisations. So I'm assuming like that's budgeted expenditure, and does that just give us the headroom to take on this like these bigger projects with the water services plan and things like that?
Yeah, 3 years, not necessarily. What happens, like take the road sealing program, this time of the year it's really, really busy.
Yeah.
And Rob will submit through Dan an invoice to me for the full quarter,
Right,
Which-
okay. So
which,
that's
every time comes to me, it's above the $750,000, but it's pre-approved in the budget. But as opposed to me going back and saying, Rob, let's massage the figures in the background just to suit my delegation, it's silly
Yeah.
because it's pre-approved in the budget.
yes,
So I've just sort of made a call to go to 1.5 million, so I'm not saying to him, split up the quarterly invoicing from Rooney Earth Moving. It's pre-approved in the budget, so I just need to sign it off.
Yeah.
Because it's creating work in the background, which is unnecessary.
It has very strict rules when it comes to unbudgeted expenditure.
yeah, that's what I'm
It's
thinking.
different.
I get quite detailed reporting, but if this
Yeah.
speeds up the process.
Yeah, this is just day-to-day running of council.
Yeah.
And I noticed one of them here is around the payment of GST and things like that,
Yes,
this is just tidying up those sort of things, rather than having to come back to us for approval.
yeah, making it more.
And this is all within existing budgets.
For example, council, you would have seen the detailed report that Dan submitted for the Lower Waiho scheme and the increased expenditure for the treatment facility there. This just allows us to keep things tracking along a bit, but unbudgeted expenditure's got to come back to this table as per the policy.
Thank you.
I think the other thing too, Jack, it just shows how costs have increased ever since when this was done initially.
Well,
That was thought to be a sufficient amount, but I'm not sure when these amounts were put in. They would have been quite a few years ago.
Yeah, they haven't changed, at least since I've been here.
So
yeah, so that's
things have moved. Costs have certainly escalated considerably. So
well, that's what I was thinking with the, like, now that we can actually move forward with the water services delivery plan, there's some big projects in there. There's going to be big bills to go with that.
Another example through you, Mr Mayor, is we may want to move quite urgently to secure lengths of pipe and other things in advance of
price increases.
contractor engagement because of not just price increases, but the scarcity of the product, particularly PE pipe and other things.
Yes, no, makes perfect sense. Good job, Shay. This is a big beast of a policy.
Oh, I had lots of help from all the group managers and making sure all my I's were dotted and T's were crossed. So
Yeah,
group
it's
effort.
a complex policy, but it's well done.
It's all about efficiency.
Awesome.
Any other questions at all? If there's not, we have two recommendations on page 37. The delegation policy report is accepted, and that the council adopts the delegation policy as presented. Have a mover. Move Councillor Stevens, second to Councillor Guildford. Put the motion. All in favour say aye. Against. Carried. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Shay.
Yeah.
Should I have these marked? Right. 16.3. And I went ahead. Page 106. Oh, sorry, not this one. 84. What happens when you keep dealing with 250 pages? Righty ho. Fees and charges, 16.2 on page 84.
Good morning, everyone. I won't squeeze down the end there because it's
Let's
hardly
go.
worth it. So this is just for fees and charges that came to the workshop on the 3rd of March. I've just outlined some of the new fees that are being introduced to areas, which you'll see there on point 3 from A to H, and a small number of fees have been superseded by a new fee, which is in point 4. Has anybody had any questions arise from when we went over them at the workshop, or any clarification that is needed?
Probably just one, just at point 4B, the roading abandoned vehicle recovery admin fee. I can't remember, but who's paying for that fee? Is that the owner of the vehicle, or is that the?
If they can be found,
Yes.
But what if they can't be found?
lays with council.
Right, so we just absorb that cost.
It is cost recovery where possible.
Yeah. But obviously you get a lot of these vehicles that are just abandoned, and people do take VIN plates and numbers off them so they are hard to identify, and if it is, that we've just got to do it.
Yeah, thank you.
At least it wasn't like the caravan that burnt down at Sailor's Cutting. It was fairly easy to pick up, broom and shovel on the side of the road. Any other questions in relation to the fees and charges? As you're all aware, we've been through these at the workshop.
What I did miss was on page 98 in regard to complaint food safety officer, $185 plus disbursements. What is that?
Disbursements?
I know what disbursements are, but I'm just wondering what the
So that's inspecting premises. So that's because we do it through Timaru. They do our health and food and safety inspections. So obviously licensed premises or food handling premises all have to have a license that has to be renewed annually.
12, it goes from 12 to 18 months.
Sorry,
12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months.
they invoice us and then
Yeah, so yeah, basically, and it's a cost recovery thing that gets passed on to the businesses.
so that's as high as pretty much as any of them.
Yes.
Going back to our asset group manager going out at $165 an hour.
Yep.
Just noticed.
Any other questions? At the start, we have two recommendations on page 85. Reports accepted, and we adopt the fees and charges as presented. We have a mover and second. Move Councillor Stevens, seconded Councillor Hall. All in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against carry. Thank you for that. Now we'll move on to motion debate. 16.3, which is the Heritage Grant, page 106. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr Mayor, councillors, thank you very much. Right, so you are used to seeing some of these, those that are new. There are quarterly and 6 monthly applications. The Heritage Grants finally, and the reason why Dylan has left the room is there is a connection, so he's away from any of the discussion or conversation. I'll take the paper as read, other than just to let you know that we have the funds available for both of these applications. I haven't printed out all of the background information, but the applications were all there, and Di has double checked that they meet all the criteria, so I'll leave it to you. You will know some of these people involved and some of these, the reasons why. Are there any questions, or would you like to discuss the applications, thoughts, feedback?
Just to comment with regards to the photographic Bex Murray, I think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there's stuff, a lot of the old identities are passing on or moving out, and it's
One
good
thing
that.
too, Sandy, is a lot of that information stored in a lot of our rural halls.
Yep.
And if we have a fire, it's gone.
Yep.
And we have no record whatsoever. So I think it's absolutely critical, and something that I know when I did the district tour with the RSA, looking at all the monuments and halls, we're looking at these boards, and you go into these halls and you go, didn't even know that existed. And that, so I think it's a really important piece of work we need to get done.
And some of those halls are being sold now, and
Yes.
so the history will be lost as the morph and transform.
Yeah.
And
Well, I know the likes of when they pulled the church down at Wyeth Hawks, the honours board ended up in the hotel because they had a memorial board in the old church, and it's fine when we know about it, but
I think that I agree through the chair. The photographic history from previous connections with community halls, and just the various local community activities that went on there, the local fetes, the jamboree equipment, all of those things that everybody used to go and play with, that you have for the summer fair, are usually all stored in these halls, and then your pictures of all of the sort of roll call over many years. It's really important history. So it was a great application to see going in.
And I think the other thing too is it's only a small portion of the total cost of both projects.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there'll be a fair bit of cost with that. It's very reasonable.
Through the chair, we double checked to make sure that all the images and the copyright of all of that would be there and available to the public as well. So that's all there and that will be
Yeah.
on file.
Oh, it's a very generous
Various
offer.
places.
It is, from a, like, if you paid someone commercially to come in and do a project like that, you'd be looking in tens of thousands, particularly to get that ownership and copyright of the image. Each image would be worth loads, so. Very good projects, and the Bushtown one is, the restoration of the building.
Yes.
Like that, looking at the building, we want to protect this heritage, all these sites. And clearly it's in a bad state of repair in the back of it. Again, a small investment to make to retain some heritage. Big volunteer efforts going into both of these applications.
Okay, no other questions? Okay, we have a recommendation on page 107. The report's accepted, and that we consider the Edwardian Heritage Group and also the one from Rebecca Murray.
Happy to move, we accept.
And that, so we need in the resolution that we approve those applications. So it's been moved by Councillor Small, seconded by Councillor McElwee. The motion, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you, Nicole.
Wonderful, thank you very much, councillors. And then we'll move to the next one, which is your recreational track grant application. And your usual applicant and for the usual amount. So it's all there with some of the history and the considerations of what you have awarded previously. So again, I'll leave that to the floor now and you know a lot about what's happening with that track.
Support the track becoming, like these changes, lifting the track height so there's less damage in the longer term, make it cheaper to maintain, and I really like the idea of it becoming more accessible by reducing the gradient on it. Electrification again, like good level of detail.
I actually had someone call in and see me, probably about a month ago now, that had just done the mountain bike tracks and other tracks around the district, and they were a group of, I think it was about 6 or 7 of them, more senior people and that. One was the ex-mayor of Mackenzie, and the comment was that the tracks around here are better than the Alps Ocean, with interest and the quality and style of the tracks, which is very interesting.
Awesome.
And I know this group of gentlemen ride extensively around South Canterbury and North Otago, so it was great feedback to hear and that. So it's great to see that they're being used, and we all know that these things take time, money and effort to build and maintain. So,
And if I may, through the chair, we're getting a lot of interest for the pamphlets for Waimate district, and I know Michelle and the team have done a fantastic job in highlighting all of the tracks in there, walking tracks as well as cycling, etc. And they're flying off the shelf. People are really, really interested in.
that's
So
great.
we're getting that feedback to the library and also other people out of the area for cycling. So it's going really, really well.
Okay, so we have a recommendation on page 142. The report's accepted and that the council approves the funding application from Waika's Mountain Bike Riders Incorporated. Move Councillor Begg. Seconded Councillor Stevens. Put the motion, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, councillors.
Moving on to item 16.5 on page 161. Proposal for winter camping at the Lakes Camping Ground. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Morning, Dan.
Steve offers his apologies, he's on annual leave at the moment, so I'm here to present the report, which I'll take as read, with one minor modification, which is 0.9.6. The proposal was $10 per adult per night, and to maintain alignment with our current fees and charges, I'm proposing to change that to single or couple pass per night at $10, so that allows 2 adults at $10. because the addition of the proposed amount is 20 plus 10, which was 30, which is the same as effectively a family pass during the season, and we're offering slightly reduced services.
And if we're gonna offer it, we want to encourage uptake of it. So,
I'm in favour of this for a trial period.
Mhm.
I would want to see some really good data come back at the end of this trial period, because I would want to make sure this is cost negative or cost neutral to the ratepayers. How do we get on with the likes of water freezing, and is that an issue? Yeah.
No, it won't be an issue with the proposal in terms of where we're going to leave open and where
Right,
we're going to
okay.
isolate.
I just know that was a big issue in some of the other camping grounds around the district, with pipes freezing and bursting and that sort of thing. So for me, I think it's a great initiative, but and when the trial's completed, I would like to see a full breakdown of the costs, because obviously there's going to be costs with maintenance and accommodation for staff and the costs associated with that. Sandy?
I was just, what do Waitaki do? Do they have a winter one or not?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
Closed down.
Right.
Lisa?
So is this meaning that people can just come up to a designated area at the parks, the reserve end, park their caravan for the amount of time that they're there? They're not necessarily setting up for the winter and leaving it for
That's right.
3 months?
The plan is it will operate as a conventional campsite.
That's right.
Which is just a per night fee.
Right, and so they're probably, all they're getting is the toilets open,
Yes,
more than what it would be.
yes, that's correct.
Thank you for clarifying.
Any other questions for Dan? Great initiative, hopefully it'll make us some more money, cover costs.
Right.
Yeah, it's worth trying, yep.
Just one more, that's right, just clarification.
Yep.
So there's going to be a fortnight where there's a complete clean out before the new season starts.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
that makes sense. Stop World War III.
So what extra cost would there be with it? Because if we've already got the owners, we've already got people staying up there, the camping managers, haven't we? So there isn't any extra accommodation costs, are there? Or
Cleaning of the toilets.
just cleaning?
Well, I guess,
Just to clarify.
They would do that anyway, would they, or not?
I guess my argument was why are they there over the winter period if there's no one camping there?
Right, I see, you mean the
Like traditionally, it was a role that was filled over that summer period,
right,
and that's been extended to that winter, for them for that winter period.
right.
But all these things come with cost.
Yes, okay.
You've got electricity and
Yeah, no, I'm see where you're coming from
so
now.
I just want to make sure that this is beneficial for our ratepayers. We're not adding on another service when we know what's coming with levels of service. Is we're going to be very hard to justify what we currently supply with all the rates capping and all the legislation. So I just want to make sure that we're not
Yep, no, totally agree.
covering costs. Sorry, Dan.
So effectively, we had an employee over the winter period up at the lakes, 15 hours per week, and he was doing maintenance, so he did a lot of tree maintenance before the season. So that just went through that winter season. So in terms of the opportunity cost, it doesn't add that much more to what we're proposing. And Steve is focusing on additional income streams. And actually, obviously, with this being non-rateable, it shouldn't actually have an impact on rates at all.
No.
Yeah.
Peter?
Stan, item 10, it says there's a potential income of $13,000. Presumably, if you change 9.6 from $10 per adult to $10 per couple, then that number's going to drop significantly, isn't it?
Potentially that will drop. Yeah, it's very difficult to model what you're going to get over the winter. You know, you might get just fishermen, you might get people who are just happy to go up there as a family for a weekend. So it's you know, it's a finger in the air, but hence the reason for the trial, I suppose.
Deb, I doesn't fully support Rob, it's definitely worth a try and that sort of thing. The other thing I was actually quite surprised that how much I saw somewhere about the on-site caravan storage was generating
Yes.
for those who want to leave them up there over the winter. So yeah, it's all good. Right, we have a recommendation on page 163 that the council accepts the proposal for the winter camping on a trial basis at the Waimate East Campground. Happy to move, John. Move Councillor Begg, second to Councillor Small. Put the motion, all in favour say aye. Against? Carried. Thank you for that. Moving on to agenda item 16.6 on page 164, which is consideration for acceptance of gifted land of Keene Park, Glenavy.
Yes, so this has been a proposal for quite a significant length of time, and Steve has presented the report based on the valuation that he obtained for the land and his understanding as to, you know, the operating costs associated with council taking on the liability of the park. So I'll take the report as read and happy to answer any questions.
Just for your information, through the Mayor Councillors, this is conversation's been going on for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
As the support for the group has dwindled over time, we currently clean the toilet that's there. My recommendation to you would be to favourably consider the proposal. I think, you know, it's just we've got the lay-by down by the bridge, but the lay-by down by the bridge is a considerable distance from the shop and the service station and other things. Plus, crossing the road down there can be a bit questionable at times. I'd like to see a larger slip lane at some point, but there is value in the Keene Park in the middle of town, and not a huge cost to accepting the gifting of it.
I know, I think it's a pragmatic approach. Like you say, it's been happening for a while. It's a, you know, dwindling support with the community as far as a group looking after it, so it just kind of makes sense, and we don't have to do it now anyway.
Well, I think it's only Chris Paul now that actually does anything down there. Chris is getting less mobile.
And that opportunity for the toilet upgrade, I think, would be huge for the Navy as well, in the future.
Yes, that was the only question I had, was where's that toilet from that's going?
It would be one of the old...
One of the old ones was here. Oh, okay.
Great.
So would it work on the same system, like a holding tank and then pumped out, or?
Yes, yeah, it can be modified so that it's sort of a hybrid, so that it's drying the material in there as well.
For less pumping.
And the only other question I had was, I know there was some negativity from a neighbouring property. Has that been resolved?
That will be resolved by the upgrade of the above ground part of the facility.
Okay, cool.
I just through you, Mr. Mayor, I don't think that has raised its head for some time now, though.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know there was a bit of tension there at one stage, but I just hope we're not taking on someone else's, you know, issue.
Hospital pass.
Yeah, that will get accused and gifted the all the additional work that goes with it. Okay, so we have a recommendation on page 165 that the reports accept that the council accept the gift to Keene Park from the Bridging Waitaki Charitable Trust. Move Councillor Small. Yeah. Seconded Councillor Patterson. And just a quick, I'd like to formally acknowledge what Chris and the group have been doing down there over the last 10 or odd years it's been there. It was a great initiative when it was set up and that sort of thing. I think it's been a real boon for the actual township itself, because I know there's a lot of vehicles stop there to go across the shop and you see quite often see people there picnicking and lunching and that sort of thing. So it's been a great facility, and hopefully we can carry on the standard.
I just wondered whether a formal letter of acknowledgement should be sent to the group.
Yep. Yeah. Happy to organise that, Alicia. Yep.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we could probably add that as part of the formal resolution of acceptance.
Yes, yeah.
Resolution.
Yeah, we can add it on to that. But yeah, no, it's been great for the little satellite districts within the district, so it's really
Bit
good.
of history there as well.
Okay, moving on to the risk pool trustee amendment consultation outcome on page 188. We'll take it as read. Have an answer.
Right, one
Oh,
eight-
sorry.
187.
187.
Water Services Committee
Yep,
membership.
sorry. Jumping ahead again. 187 Water Service Committee membership. Dan, anything you'd like to add to this?
I'll just take the report as read. It's more a formality than anything else, so yeah, happy to answer any questions, but I don't expect there will be any.
Same.
I'd just like to thank the two councillors that are going on to that committee, because there's going to be a lot of work in that, so I appreciate you doing that.
Beast.
Yeah, taking on that role, so thank you.
Let's go. All right, so we have a recommendation there. I won't move it or second it because I'm on the committee. So moved by Councillor Stevens, seconded by Councillor Begg. Put the motion, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Thank you for that. Putting your trust in us. Moving on to 16.8 now, the risk pool. Will take the report as read. I'm sure Stuart can answer any questions if there is any, as Tina's away.
Just for you, Mr Mayor, it's just an update.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's fairly straightforward. Right. I'm happy to move the report's accepted. Seconded Councillor Guildford. Put the motion, all in favour say aye. Against, carries. Moving on to the public excluded minutes. So I have somebody move that we move to public excluded. Move Councillor Guildford, seconded Councillor McAwee. Put the motion